We're here today to take part in the mass casualty exercise being hosted by the Tromsø University of Northern Norway hospital system. This is a large-scale exercise, one that they haven't done in many years, that's incorporating civil, military, and volunteers as part of the scope of this exercise here in Tromsø. So the value is that we, as guests here in Norway, are able to see firsthand the scope and scale that the Norwegian medical system is able to manage if and when we were to need to rely on them as a NATO partner for casualty management, patient movement, and the care of our Marines and sailors of II MEF. So what we saw today was some really phenomenal training as far as a mass casualty goes. In almost 22 years of service, I haven't seen one to this scale and scope that was as impressive as what we saw here today. And the fact that it engaged multiple levels of national response capability with the police, the local fire, the civil military, the national defense and home guards teams, as well as the emergency medical services of Tromsø, was just an incredible partnership and collaboration between all these entities. And what was really impressive about this was the fact that they took it to such a detail and maintained a realism of the exercise that it really made you feel like they were taking care of actual patients. As an observer and somebody that would potentially be engaging with these entities if we were operating here in a real world situation, it is incredibly impressive to see their capability, and what we were part of here today was nothing short of an impressive large-scale mass casualty exercise. We've conducted similar exercises within our formations back in the rear, and I can honestly say that this is on par with anything that we would have done. This was an impressive scope of an exercise as they went from the point of injury at the arena all the way through the continuum of patient movement with accurate tracking to definitive care at the hospital in Tromsø, often culminating in an operative case or some other critical care management. So we were fortunate that 3 Marines from II MEF who are out here participating in Nordic Response 24 were able to engage with the exercise facilitators and act as casualties throughout the course of the exercise. So probably the most useful thing that we were able to take away from being able to observe this exercise was understanding the way in which the Norwegian healthcare system responds to mass casualties, and to understand where we may be able to integrate into that system should we need to align as NATO partners to respond to something of that scale. I can tell you from observing it from point of injury all the way through to definitive care, I have the utmost confidence in the capability of the Norwegian healthcare system. So being able to observe something of this scale here in Norway as we're conducting Nordic Response is an invaluable opportunity really to engage with our Norwegian healthcare partners, as well as just to see their system and understand better how we could integrate into that should we need to partner in response to a mass casualty for real. So one of the reasons I think that they wanted to conduct this exercise, first of all, it's incredibly important to not just tabletop a lot of these things, but you really need to exercise, much like what we're doing here in Nordic Response 24, the capabilities that you believe you are able to bring to any mass casualty or combat situation. It's something that they hadn't done to this scale in many years, and incorporating all the elements that would come into play should a real mass casualty or something to that scope actually occur, because you're integrating different elements of the Norwegian response capability. You're incorporating many different facets to their response system, from the police to the EMS to the firefighting to actual volunteers from within the city of Tromsø that were willing to participate and make this as real as possible. So they use this as a training requirement for Nordic Response to test their capability. We were able to see and partner with them to build our own situational awareness on how that would all work with us. The importance of this exercise can't be overstated. How it plays into not just our partnerships at II MEF in Nordic Response with the Norwegian military and the Norwegian government, but NATO as a whole, all of its partners, now to include Sweden. It goes to show that NATO and all its partners are able to respond as a team in crisis. I would just like to say how proud I am of all of our Navy and Marine Corps team out here in Norway during Nordic Response 24. I'm also incredibly thankful to the leadership of the Tromsø medical system that invited us to be a part of that exercise. Again, I can't state how important that was for us to integrate with them and see how their management system works and how we could potentially work together in the future. And it was just a really incredible opportunity that I'm grateful that we were able to take advantage of while we're out here during Nordic Response 24.
Vi avstopper nå på grunn av mulig skade. Frie luftreier. Pasienten har frie luftreier. Vi har ikke noe blod i munnen. Vi har ikke noe smertefull i munnen.
This is a fake scenario.
You see completely normal.
Yes.
Yeah. So. And yeah. What do you think? Is it like deviating to yeah, try to break it up?
Right.
Okay, and here you have a laceration.
Okay. Jeg vil ikke få vite det røntgens. Ok.
That's just from this.
Okay, it's just from that. Thank God.